Hello, friends. I'm Dally Daydream. I am joined by my lovely friends Bucky, R, Hannah, and B. Today we're going to be playing Fallout Grey Hollow. Before we get started, is there any clarifications anyone needs? Any quick going over the rules, or are you happy to just cross bridges as we come to them?
I wanted to let you know that I made the perk swap I was talking about debating between,
Oh, aye.
and so there's been minor updates to my character sheet, but nothing that you would be like shocked by.
Magic. That reminds me, actually. What I should probably do is open everyone's character sheets so that I can access them easily. So we have Hannah's character, and R's character, hopefully, and Bucky and B. Excellent. Right. If I thought about it, I might have made up some kind of monologue how war never changes, but, well, I forgot. So we're just gonna say war. War never changes. Anyway, Fallout.
Insert generic Fallout monologue here.
Insert Ron Perlman here. I wish I could do Ron Perlman's voice. Oh, and one thing I will clarify before we start is that unless otherwise specified, all of the NPCs you will meet have American accents. I will just not be attempting to convey the American accents because we all know how that goes. So, the four of you are currently in a region of the American wasteland known as Sabine. So named because it surrounds the Sabine River. On the west side, you have a region of former Texas. On the east side, you have a region of former Louisiana. The part that we're interested in at the moment falls in the west side, in the Texas territory. It's a town, a city really, called Marsden, a vibrant trading hub and home to the Depot, which has been run for 15 years by Jody Kim, founder and, I suppose, CEO, if you want to use such terms, of Apocalypse Post, the premier and most reliable and, let's face it, basically only courier service in the Sabine region. You have all, well, I will say this, there have been leaflets posted throughout the Sabine region over the past day or so, to the following effect. Wanted mercenaries to, do you know what? I'll actually read out exactly what I wrote, that'd be easier. I'll pull up what I wrote. Okay. Wanted temporary hires for Apocalypse Post to discreetly investigate an unfamiliar, potentially hostile location. Force may be required. Reward, caps and or weapons amount to be discussed. See Jody Kim at the Depot, Marsden. I would like to start in the depot itself, where B, your character, has just arrived for your shift. Would you like to introduce us to your character, B?
So my name is Sweets, and I am a courier for the Apocalypse Post. And my call sign is Whiskey, and my iBot is named Wes.
Fantastic, thanks, B. As you stroll in there... Whoa, what was that?
Sorry, I was saying, oh my god, you have an iBot.
She sure do. Sorry. I think I turned up Bucky's volume too loud, so I've just adjusted that. Okay. As you approach... as you walk in, something that usually happens when you first walk in is that Wes, your little iBot, scoots over to you, bobbing up and down in the air as he is wont to do, and he comes over to you and he chirps excitedly in a way as if to say, I missed you.
Aw, I miss you too, buddy.
He chirps happily. Hearing this commotion, you see Jody poke her her head around the door to her office, and she said, "Whiskey Sour, there you are. I have an assignment for you today. I mean, obviously, I always have an assignment for you, but I've got a particular assignment for you."
Okay, what's up?
Yeah, come on in. It's a delicate matter. Can we talk in here?
Sure.
You can come too, Wes. Wes immediately zooms through the door. Jody actually has to open it for him so he doesn't crash into it. Okay, so, you know the want ads that I've been posting out, right?
Yep.
And you know... Okay, so I'm not being too public with this. We're actually, you know how, we kind of keep everything on a need-to-know basis here. And, Sweets, because you have been working here for a few months now, you are familiar with the fact that things within the Apocalypse Post are quite compartmentalized. Things certain couriers know that might be, what's the word? Sensitive information. Those aren't shared with the other couriers. So it's like, if something happens to a courier, they can't... It's basically like a cell, having separate cells that are separate from each other in various organizations. No one can get information that they don't have access to, essentially. So sorry?
So what's the problem?
So this is about X-Ray.
Oh.
Now, obviously, you know that we haven't talked a whole lot about where he's been, except that he went missing on assignment. The place we sent him to, and again, there are kind of rumors flying around with this, and we need to take a cautious approach. He went missing in or near a vault.
That's problematic.
A little bit, yeah. We didn't know this vault existed until, like, maybe the last month. It's not open, as far as we can tell, to the outside. We don't know what the fuck is in there. And you know X-Ray, right? He can handle himself. He's been doing this for years, and what's also kind of screwing us up is that his iBot is not showing its tracking beacon, you know? I mean, otherwise we'd have some idea.
Otherwise we probably would have found him already.
Exactly. We know where Shin's signal went down, and it is where we sent X-Ray, but yeah. So here's the deal. I do not want to send one of my couriers by themselves, because I don't know what's there. But at the same time, I don't want to hire a bunch of wastelanders that I don't know and send them off to find one of my own. So, you can see where I'm going with this, right?
I'll be on a tee.
You sure will. Is that going to be okay with you? I know you usually... Yeah. I know, listen, Whiskey, you're one of my...
More excitement.
That's a good attitude. Mostly it's like, I know one of your best strengths is that you can do things quick, and a team is going to slow you down a little bit, but this is a mission that needs to be done carefully and safely rather than quickly. And I trust you to do that, and I trust you to keep the knuckleheads that I'm going to be hiring to accompany you in line.
You got it, boss.
Speaking of knuckleheads, now which... I'm so tempted to introduce Hannah's character. No. Garn and Ace, or should I say Bucky and R, would you two like to introduce your characters as they stroll into the bustling streets of Marsden?
Well, I half want R to go first because Garn would probably be following Ace, but then again, at the same time, Garn would probably attract more attention.
I'm going to say, Ace, you go ahead and introduce yourself, and we will keep in mind that you and your companion are drawing a lot of stairs.
So Ace is very much the stereotypical cowboy wearing, the hat, got the whole just cowboy outfit.
The spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle?
Yes.
Excellent.
Words. Hunting rifle on his back, 10 mil on one hand, and then a very odd, sir, do you mind not playing with the bag right now?
Yoshi, we've already got to be on alert for Max.
And a little strange, holster kind of on his side. And he is also very pale, has kind of dirty blonde hair. And just kind of trying to keep the, hat pulled down, just, covered in his eyes, doing that whole thing. And he's just walking, trying to keep a low profile as best he can, knowing that's not working.
And the reason it's not working, Bucky...
He is being trailed closely. Following closely behind him is a very tall figure, over 10 feet. The figure is kind of hunched over, but no one can quite see who or what they are, because they are covered completely in a brown cloak covered with poorly sewn patches. Covered head to toe, hood pulled far over their head, and sleeves pulled over their hands, kind of hanging like a small child trying to wear their dad's long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, the looks you get vary, but they are all looks. Very few people are kind of avoiding looking at you or hiding the fact that they're looking at you, because they don't get a lot of... They do get all sorts in Marsden, sure. But,
They are all 10 feet tall.
Yeah, kinda. So you do get some people who are, whispering to each other. You get some people who cross the street to get to the other side. You see... you see a fairly young mother holding a small toddler and is just she just basically clocks the two of you, turns around, walks in the opposite direction. Oh yeah, okay, so maybe not 10 foot tall, but maybe 8 feet.
I think super mutants are a little bit shorter. Well, not a little bit, but sorry, I just noticed Hannah's comment. He avoids stepping in mud. But anyway, yeah. He tries to, at least. And interestingly, when he steps, he kind of twists his foot a little bit, almost to kind of smear it if he steps in mud.
Yeah, these are kind of dirty mud roads, but they've tried to put down some gravel and stuff.
Anyway, I believe super mutants are generally I want to say 8 feet tall. This guy is over 10 feet tall, so if he's a super mutant, he's a big one.
Okay, so Garn is 10 feet tall. Honestly, I had forgotten exactly how tall he was. Yeah,
honestly, I've forgotten too, but yeah, I think a fully grown one.
A fully grown one of this character
is I want to say can reach up to 15 feet, and he's young. So
he is young. I'd forgotten. He's just a boy.
He's just a boy.
He's just a baby.
He's a baby.
He's a baby. He's not an actual baby. I mean, he is baby.
He's not a newborn baby. He is young. He's adolescent.
Yes, but in terms of a character, he baby.
He's not a baby, but he is baby.
Exactly.
He's just a baby.
Now, the reason the two of you, and, feel free to correct me, but I'd say the reason the two of you came to Marsden is because you heard that there's work here. In fact, you heard at least one old-timer mention that they're specifically looking for new recruits at the depot. And you have been around the Sabine area long enough to know that the depot is where the Apocalypse Post runs out of, and you know that the Apocalypse Post is an incredibly well-respected institution that the region would kind of cease to function without. So they sound like good people to work for. And as you are passing, one of the you actually there's this kind of like wooden notice board kind of erected on the side of the street, and it's got like a few want ads, and the one that sticks out to you is the one that I mentioned earlier, the want ad that Jody Kim posted for help on a somewhat covert mission where force may be required. I will say that either or both of you can notice this want ad.
Sign won't stop Garn because Garn can't read.
Ace can notice this want ad.
Ace does in fact notice it and walks up to the board, just kind of studies it before looking over Garn's like, "Hey, found something."
Find?
What was that, Bucky? I didn't quite hear it.
What find?
Looks like I got a job. Something
Sure.
we might be able to handle.
Job?
Yeah, where we can earn some caps so we can eat.
Yes.
I guess we just gotta go find this depot.
What? What people?
Good question. He will try to see if he can find either a sign or someone he could ask for directions.
Everyone is avoiding us.
I will say that it's Marsden, it's a trading town, and their big draw is their delivery service. It's well signposted. You can just follow the signs. Ace can just follow the signs. I don't know about Garn.
Garn
Garn
follows
Ace. Yeah. While you two are wending your merry way through the town, someone has beaten you to the punch. And, Hannah, would you like to describe the individual who has just stepped foot in the depot?
Hi there. My name's Isabeau Fontaine. My daddy calls me Issy Bear. If you call me that, I'll be calling your mama to give her my condolences.
I'm sorry, I love her so much. Okay,
I'm
Hannah.
sorry, I'm just instantly obsessed, like the second you opened your mouth and the second you posted the picture.
I'm so glad you two can finally meet Isabeau, dear God. Okay, Isabeau, as soon as you step in, you are... The first person who notices you is a rather reserved-looking individual of indeterminate gender who is covered with grease stains and they're actually wearing work gloves and have a tool belt on, and they approach you cautiously and say, "Help you, ma'am."
Hi there. If you'd be so kind as to direct me to Miss Jody Kim.
Business?
Business and pleasure, always.
Oh, no, sorry. Your business is? Are you here as a customer, or are you applying to the want ad?
We noticed the want ad, and the Fontaines are always ready to help the community.
Oh, you're Fontaine. Yeah, that's, you see he instantly just gets you see they instantly get a little bit more apprehensive, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, hold there, I'll get Ms. Kim for you." And they scarper off. Jody Kim's office is not immediately accessible from the foyer, so this person goes down the corridor, and someone opens up the door, and you see Molyneux, the iBot maintenance technician, poke their head in. Jody, there's someone here about your want ad. Oh, great, fantastic show. It's a Fontaine? Is that gonna be... No kidding. Huh, okay.
Exciting.
Okay, it's Fontaine, sure. Did Did she seem like she was here to hurt anyone?
This seems like an opportune moment to point out
Go ahead.
that Isabeau is carrying an enormous laser gat on her back.
Jody, she's back in serious heat. Okay, and she's here about, but you know what? I'll talk to her. Right? What's the worst that could happen? And, I will say...
Sorry if you said we all die.
Incredible. Sweets, you do know that... You know a little bit about the Fontaines and the LeBeaus, for that matter, the two powerful families of Des Moines, Sabine's capital, feuding over who gets to control the city. You know that so far neither of them have made any moves on the Apocalypse Post. So Jody's attitude being let's see what happens doesn't seem too reckless to you. It's like they haven't tried anything before. It seems unlikely they would try something now. So Molyneux returns to the foyer and says, this way, Miss Fontaine.
Thank you kindly.
They seem deeply unnerved by how polite you are. You get the feeling this is someone who has not met anyone from your family before. Possibly someone who hasn't even, left Marsden. You are waved through into Jody's office, where you find Jody Kim, a fairly average height woman of, I believe, East Asian descent, with black hair pulled back in a short ponytail and good sort of well-worn but very sturdy traveling clothes, with her appears to be, someone who basically looks like a wastelander to you.
Alright, I'm going to fully ignore Sweets, and turn to Jody and say, well, hi, Miss Kim. A pleasure to meet you in person. My daddy's spoken most highly of your organization.
Jody is going to glance at Isabeau. She's going to sort of wait for a moment to see if Isabeau acknowledges Sweets.
She'll give, sort of a general polite nod to the help, but I don't think she would, greet Sweets verbally or greet Sweets first.
She is going to kind of she gives a side eye to you, Sweets, and a very subtle grin, and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually one of the couriers here. This is Jody Kim," and she gestures to Sweets.
Would I know who Jody Kim is?
Would you have had a reason to meet her in person before?
That depends on whether or not she bought my daddy's guns.
I'm gonna say that even though she will take commissions and deliveries from either of the warring families in Des Moines, she doesn't actually buy from either of them if she can help it. It's part of her kind of neutrality policy.
Okay.
So she will not have bought Big Daddy's guns.
Listen. Oh my goodness, I apologize. I should not have made that assumption. It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
We help you today.
Sorry, I unlocked it too soon.
Sorry, what was that, B?
It's a pleasure to meet you. How can we help you today?
I just saw your want ad and the Fontaines wanted to lend a helping hand.
Well, we'd love to have you.
We're all in favor of excavation of the ruins, bringing order out of chaos and whatnot. And I, for one, am ecstatic to be in partnership with your lovely program.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Did I get to roll something to find out they're fucking with me, or
You
am I?
absolutely may. You can roll. Could you please roll inspect? And I'll tell you what. I'll have Jody and Sweets. Could you also roll fucking lie?
I feel pretty good about my inspect.
Yeah, that is, to be fair, 4 successes.
Yeah, sorry, Dally, B wanted clarification on how the rolling system worked.
Oh goodness, yes, of course. So, for example, if I pull up Sweets' character sheet, Sweets' charisma is 4. Her lie is a tagged skill plus 3, which means it's 7. This means you roll 7d6, and unless I say otherwise, a successful roll is a 5 or higher. So you roll 7d6, and however many turn up 5 or 6, that's how many successes you get. In order to beat Isabeau's inspect check, you will need to get 5 or higher.
I think I also have a thing that lets me
You
adjust
do.
the dice.
You do. You have Poker Face. Now I've made a slight bit of an error at this point, because if I were paying more attention, I would have remembered you had Poker Face and given you the option to make use of that before I had Hannah roll, because Poker Face either lets you add 1 to your dice pool or subtract 1 from your opponent's dice pool. Hannah's already rolled, and I think it would be unfair to make her re-roll at this point. Would you be happy, B, to use just add an extra dice to your dice pool on this occasion, and I'll be better about it in the future?
Yes.
It would just mean rolling 8d6 instead of 7d6 for your Poker Face. Oh, can you just remind me, is Poker Face just an anytime ability, or did I make that once per day or something?
From my memory of the handbook, it's anytime,
Magic.
but only in this specific situation.
Yeah, nope,
Yep,
yeah, there it
it
is. It's right there.
is.
Quite right. So yeah, you're not using up a once per day thing or anything like that. Go right ahead. I do not have a character sheet for Jodie, so I'm going to assume she has 3 charisma and nothing in lie. Okay, you have rolled. That's only 2 successes. Let me roll for Jodie. It's...
You said sad.
Oh. Actually, unless... Okay, the only way Jodie can pull this out of the bag now is if she crits. So let's find out. Jodie... She comes close, but no, Jodie does not crit.
Shockingly close to a crit, though.
Go Jodie. Yeah, Isabeau, they're fucking with you.
You see Isabeau's eyebrows come together, and her hand kind of moves a little bit towards the pistol on her hip, but she says, I'm really looking forward to working with y'all.
I am at this point going to roll Jodie's inspect to see if she can tell that that you've made them. Yeah, I am playing fast and loose with a, let's face it, evil character.
I want to point out that Isabeau genuinely believes that she is a good person and that the Fontaines are good people.
I do not doubt it, even remotely. That's very much...
That said,
yeah.
She is a terrible person.
yeah, definitely. Jodie gets no successes, so she doesn't actually realise she's been made, but she is gonna... I was gonna say this before you spoke up, Hannah. She is going to sort of give a sideways look to Sweets as if to say, do you want to keep it up, or shall we drop it now? She just kind of gives you a questioning look.
I'm just fucking with ya. I'll be your buddy.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we can start our partnership on a relationship of mutual trust.
Miss Fontaine, I do very much appreciate your patience with us. I am Jodie Kim. I just my couriers are very important to me. you're a Fontaine. You understand how important family is, don't you?
Well, of course, ma'am.
My couriers are my family, and if you disrespect them, we will not be able to do business. Are we clear?
I wouldn't dream of it, ma'am.
Of course. All right, well, to make formal introductions, this is Courier Whiskey, Sweets. And, Sweets, this is, of course, Miss Isabeau Fontaine, who, if you are sincere in your word, will be accompanying you down to Vault 124. And she is reading you very carefully as soon as she drops it, you're going to a vault.
Isabeau's eyebrows raise, but she does her best to maintain, like, a neutral expression.
Cool,
because
cool.
she is very aware of how well she's being observed.
Yeah, that's totally fair. No need to roll for any of that. At this point, I'm gonna say, Molyneux comes back in, and they are looking more harried than they were before. And they were looking pretty freaked out before because there was a Fontaine in the building. They're now like, Jody, I'm gonna need you to, could you just come? Could you please? And then they just leg it, and Jody's like, okay, something's got Molyneux spooked, let's go see what's up.
Is it a 10-foot tall monster in a cloak?
Shh, that's a secret surprise for later. And by later I mean now. You follow Jody back to the... Jody follows Molyneux, and you all if you choose to follow Jody, she goes back to the foyer. She's inviting you both to come, but I'll leave it up to you whether you do or not.
Isabeau comes after, like, a lingering glance at what's on Jody's desk.
Jody's desk is quite clean, apart from some bubble heads. She keeps the sensitive information locked in drawers. Nice try, though. One of the bubble heads is a little eyebot.
Oh, cute.
Sweets, like, narrows her eyes at this, but follows excitedly.
Oh no, I'm
Magic.
going last. I will not be doing this in front of another person.
I will not let you leave the room alone.
Fuck.
That's a really
Okay.
fair point.
Are you both just standing there staring at each other?
I'm going to imagine that there's about 5 seconds where you're each waiting for the other to leave first, and when you don't, presumably you both leave at the same time. Cut to the foyer. Jody opens the door, and over her shoulder you can see why Molyneux was so freaked out. There is a completely concealed 10-foot tall figure. There's also someone who's dressed like a cowboy, but there's a 10-foot tall figure completely concealed in a cloak. It's kind of freaky. Jody, like, you see her, like, startle, but to her credit, she recovers quickly and strolls outside. Howdy, fellas. How can I help you this fine day?
Garn and Ace like job?
Yes, we saw your notice on the board, and we thought this might be a good place to get some caps real quick.
Holy shit. I mean, yes, right, of course. I am going to have to, I'm gonna have to... I hate to be awkward, but... Garn, was it?
Yes.
Could you explain, why you're concealed? You're not wanted for something, are you?
Miss Kim. This
Yes?
this gentleman, and she gestures to Olive Garn, wouldn't be one of your couriers, would it?
This immediately changes Jodie's sort of attitude towards Garn. Like, she had been really apprehensive, and now she's very much like, well, no, he's not currently one of my couriers, but he just said he's interested in a job, so he might be one of your co-workers.
Sir, I would really prefer to know who it is I'm working with.
You see, my friend
just
here is.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying Garn kind of shifts uncertainly, and you can't see his face obviously, but you see his head turn to Ace, like looking for help.
You see, my friend here is a mutant, and he gets very self-conscious about people staring at him when he is uncloaked, so he just keeps a cloak on him at all times.
No kidding. A super mutant. Are you from out Forced Way, or?
We're both wanderers. We just happened to stumble by the Sabine area, and been here for a few weeks and are looking for a job.
New to Sabine, huh? Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. Alright, all of you, follow me back to my office. We'll talk business. You'd have to duck a little to get in the entrance, Garn, but
Sure.
you're fine once you get inside.
Yeah, he kind of like looks at the door. He kind of looks the door up and down, and then he squeezes himself to be as small as he can to try to push through.
Baby. Okay. You all follow Jody back to her office. She actually grabs a chair from the hallway as she's going and takes it in with her so that there's enough chairs for all four of you. Garn, they are not big enough for you. You think that they won't break if you sit on them or anything, but they are very not big enough for you.
Garn will stand.
Bless. Jody hops up on her desk, and sort of crosses her legs, folds her hands in her lap. Okay. Well, introductions first. My name is Jody Kim. I'm the person who posted the want ad. The scared individual outside is Molyneux. They take care of the iBots here. Now this is one of my couriers, Whiskey. She will be leading this mission, and you will all be working together with her, but she's the one who knows the most about what's happened. Let me lay it out for you. About a week ago, a little more than a week, one of my couriers was employed to dispatch a message to Vault 124, which, up until recently, we didn't know existed. So, our courier, X-Ray, he and his iBot head to the location. There's been a bit of chatter about a possible vault in the area, and Jody just looks troubled, like she's having a bit of a hard time talking about this.
Garn doesn't catch this, and he starts kind of like huffing excitedly, just kind of like almost like a dog panting, and he just says, "Garn family from Vault."
Super mutants, or the super mutants you grew up with are from a vault?
Garn family.
Is your family not super mutants? She's looking at you a little oddly because you're panting, and that seems like an animalistic thing to do and not a super mutant thing to do.
Isabeau's gonna offer him a lacy handkerchief.
Incredible.
At like the full extent of her arm's reach.
It's like not she is and I should note for the sake of Isabeau that his cloak is filthy. Since it's a muddy area, the bottom of it is like drenched in mud.
Oh yeah. No, she's not getting closer, but she is reaching her arm all the way out with a handkerchief kind of grasped in two fingers.
Jody, go ahead.
No thanks.
Okay.
Suit yourself.
I noted in the chat, but just to make it clear here, his voice is very guttural and growly. He claims to be a super mutant, but he doesn't sound like a super mutant.
Yeah, Jody has kind of clocked that something's not right here, but she's going with it for now. She's already hiring a Fontaine, so in for a penny, right? Okay, so the mission as it stands is to get to Vault 124 and locate Courier X-Ray, preferably also his Eyebot Shin if you can manage it, and get him back home. I do not know what you're going to find in the vault. I don't even know for certain that he made it into the vault. I just know that the area we were told the vault was, that's where Shin's tracking beacon cut out. So I have to assume he got there. And if no one's seen him, that means that he's... all evidence points to him being in this vault. So... and here's the thing, there's also... the word is starting to spread about Vault 142. I mean, of course it is. People are going to want to know what's in it, if they can make money off of it. I mean, if words reach Silmoyne, then she immediately remembers that Isabeau is there and just stops. Anyway. Right, anyway. It's going to be a dangerous mission. I do not know what you'll find. I do not know how dangerous it will be. I don't know if X-Ray is alive. But I would be a shit boss if I didn't at least try. So, I'm sending one of my girls, and I wanted to hire backup to go with her. You all look extremely capable. She just kind of takes a moment looking up all the way at Garn, looking at Isabeau with her Gatling laser, and looking at Ace's whole deal.
When she says they all look very capable, Garn kind of bobs his head up and down, like trying to nod, and he says, "Garn, very strong."
I will say that under the last, you do all notice that there is an Eyebot that has been kind of hovering, bobbing up and down beside Sweets this entire time, and he has just been, over the course of this conversation, slowly bobbing his way over to Garn, just kind of clearly fascinated.
Garn kind of like turns his head to look over at him, and he doesn't let his hand come out of the sleeve, but he holds out his arm like to kind of oh no. He holds out his arm again, still with everything concealed with the sleeve, like towards the Eyebot as if to like try to pet it.
Wes kind of moves closer and bobs up and down as if to say, interaction, new friend.
Garn rubs the back of his still covered hand on the Eyebot's face. I don't know. Well, its front.
The Eyebot trills excitedly, then bobs back to Sweets, as it like there's almost something proud about the way it just kind of bobs back to Sweets, going like chip 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 chip. Jody looks at each of you and says, "So, I can already account for Sweets' ability. She has worked a lot of deliveries for me before. I will need to know what each of you has in the way of experience and what you can bring to this team. I desperately want to find X-Ray, but I do not want to put more people in danger in order to do it." Okay, but we'll come back. Isabeau will maybe do last because Max is honking right now, so she'll look at Ace first.
Well, I can say that I am a good talker. I'm good at talking a lot of people down, and worst case scenario, Garn and I can put up a decent fight. It's mostly non-lethal.
Garn very strong.
Garn does look very strong. Okay. And, yeah, I'm not going to pull that bullshit like, can you tell us an example of a time you worked in a team, because, no one ever really tells the truth on those things anyway. Hannah, are we still honking?
We're not currently honking, but we might be ready to honk again at any second.
Okay.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, okay.
Garn actually kind of looks at Ace, kind of tilts his head to the side a bit. Again, an animal like gesture, but we already have discussed that. So he kind of looks at Ace, tilts his head to the side, and says, he's trying to be quiet, but obviously he has a very different idea of quiet than other people do. He says, "Can Garn and Ace trust new friends?"
Ace will lean over and whisper, "I think so."
Garn kind of bobs his head up and down.
Tell me this, have you two been traveling together for long?
I would say at least a month or two.
Ace, good friend.
Okay. She seems like she's trying to get a read on you both. Yeah. So, you're good with talking. Good. You're strong. Good. If a fight breaks out, what kind of weapons do you have to work with?
Well,
Friends.
Garnt is pretty good with his hands. I've got
Okay.
myself a 10 mil, the hunting rifle, and my own special breed of explosive.
You make your own explosives?
Out of the small pouch that's on his side, he just pulls out a thicker than normal playing card and just kind of twirls it in his hand a bit before putting it back.
Fascinating. Never seen one like that before. May I take a look, or is that off limits?
Sure, just be careful. And he'll
I-
hand her Ace of Spades.
Incredible. She will turn it over very carefully in her hands, trying to figure out how it works. And after a moment, she hands it back to you, going, "Never seen anything like it." Yeah. You obviously know your stuff. Do you think you can talk to Isabeau yet, Hannah, or?
Anna is typing.
Yes, so she is. You could, to be fair, also just, type what Isabeau says. Or possibly that's what you're already doing. Okay, so Isabeau says, "I'm not sure about non-lethal, but I have advanced training in energy weapons, heavy plasma and conventional. I speak English, Spanish and Creole. I'm a dab hand with robotics and electronics, if I do say so myself. And of course I come with the very finest in Fontaine branded energy weapons, many of the prototypes for which I had a hand in making myself. Is that sufficient?" For the first time, you have actually stunned Jodie a tiny bit into silence. She takes a moment and then she goes, "You know what? Yeah, okay. Yeah. You're really not messing around, kid. I like it. I mean, Miss Fontaine. Those are some pretty good credentials. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied that all of you can handle yourselves out there. Yeah. Would you do me the favor of waiting in the foyer, all three of you? I just need one more word with my employee, and then we'll be ready to go. Are you all good to go fairly immediately?"
Yes.
Yeah, I say so.
Okay.
I
If
never
B needs to
come
take.
unprepared.
Sorry.
I never come unprepared.
You certainly don't. If B needs to take Max out, what I might do is just flash back later when B gets back to what they talk about. In Jodie's office. Does that sound okay? Cool. And thank you, B, for your service in maxing the max. I'm going to say that the Apocalypse Post, does there any... Sorry, I'm just trying to think if they give any... No, okay. Sorry, I'm just seeing what... Oh, Max. Okay. You are given the location that you need to go to. And it does take... Hang on, I'm going to need to check the map. Trying to remember where I put it. Okay, so you end up following the road that goes... Excuse me. You end up following the road that goes south and then southeast out of Marsden. Kind of like you're heading towards the settlement called Freedom Song. I haven't worked out scale. Let's say it's the morning now and you reach your location in the afternoon, and if I need to change that later, we'll just hand wave it. So, is there anything any of you would like to do while you're on the road walking towards Vault 124?
At some point, like while we're walking, Garn, like he spends most of the time in quiet, but at some point, kind of out of the blue, he's just kind of like, no one hurt Garn, yes? No one hurt Garn?
Well, you know I ain't gonna hurt you, buddy.
I believe it's in my contract to see that you and all of our other teammates return unarmed.
Not hurt Garn. Good. Good friends.
Sure.
Sure.
Sorry, just PM stuff.
What is Garn doing? Just check in?
He's walking.
Okay, he just was like, nobody hurt Garn, and I thought we were gonna...
No, he was just like I said, it's kind of out of the blue. He's just checking. Like he's very nervous. And meanwhile, I won't speak for R, but like something tells me that Ace is just kind of internally like, Garn, you can't just say that to people.
Oh yeah. But he's trying to play it cool.
Basically, Garn knows that he might have to take his cloak off at some point, and he's just checking.
Yes.
Is there something that I should be rolling Garn's cloak?
Yeah, I meant to say earlier.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's an excellent point. Yeah, I sometimes forget that there are mechanics in this, so if at any point you need to like find out something, it's like, can I make a roll? Ask. Yeah, make me... I think it's probably going to be another inspect roll. And,
Really glad I switched around my tag skills.
Garn, I don't think that you can actually... I'm not looking at the screen because I'm gonna say how many successes this will take, because Garn, I don't think this is something that you can control with any of your skills right now.
Yeah, he has 1 point in charisma.
Yeah, baby. Hannah, I'm gonna say 3 successes. 2 successes, something's funky. 3 successes, yeah.
That looks
Holy
like 4
shit.
successes.
4 successes? That's not a super mutant. That's not a fucking super mutant.
Baby, your perfectly normal super mutant tail is dragging in the mud a little.
My god.
He kind of stops, and he turns his head to look, and I think, is it okay to say, like, he doesn't let his tail, like, hang out of his cloak, but it is leaving a drag mark in the mud for sure.
Absolutely.
He kind of looks and he sees the drag.
I will also say, though, that, like, the tail is not hanging out the cloak. The cloak covers the tail. But the cloak is filthy and a little bit, careworn. So
For
like,
sure.
if Karn is really unlucky and there's a really perceptive person who rolled 4 successes, you can see a little bit of his tail through it.
He just kind of stops walking and he turns and he looks and he sees the drag mark behind him. And he says, need longer cloak?
Baby.
I think what
I
we
think
need to
you
do
need
is
taller shoes.
He kind of turns his head to look down at his feet and he says, not wear shoes. Shoes not fit.
we'll build just something to put your tail in so it doesn't drag.
While all of this is going on, by the
Tell
way,
y'all what. If we get
Continue.
out of this alive, I know a tailor that's very discreet.
Make Garn pretty?
He does love a challenge.
I'm fucking dying. They're making friends. While all this
Sure.
is happening, by the way, Wes the Eyebot is gradually bobbing closer and closer to Isabeau, and just kind of specifically Isabeau's Gatling laser, just making curious chirping noises.
If he starts like scanning it or anything, Isabeau's gonna kind of shoo him away. But for right now, she's actually mostly inspecting Wes.
I low-key forgot that Eyebots could scan shit. But yeah, no, he's very much just he's just slowly circling you, and he is, as far as you can tell, just using whatever basic scanners Eyebots use to see where they're going. He's not scanning your gap. Yeah, basically, I'll tell you this out of character, but you probably wouldn't know it in character. The Apocalypse Post Eyebots tend to, some of them have like kind of personalities, but they tend to do what they're told. So like Wes in particular, his friend Sweets hasn't told him to scan anything, so he's not going to scan anything, but he's still going to try and make friends.
You okay? You're bobbing a lot there. Do you need me to check your boosters?
Wes kind of bobs back from you a little bit and then slowly rotates from side to side in a mannerism mimicking shaking someone's head.
All right, just asking.
He he continues to bob a little more a little more energetically now, as if to say, I do it because I like it. Hey, could you guys give me a second? I just noticed how filthy my water bottle cap is, and I really need to clean it. I'll be back in 2 ticks. Feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves.
I'm sorry, Max just came back in, and he's a horrible monster who didn't poop after screaming and screaming about how he needed to poop so bad.
Max.
Is B back?
B is returned, but not close to the computer.
Just letting B know that Isabeau has pointed out that Garn's perfectly normal super mutant tail was dragging through the mud. So, so Sweets now has that bit of info.
You got a thumbs up.
Cool.
And kind of a wry facial expression.
I love B.
Just a perfectly normal 10-foot tall super mutant with a tail. I don't know what the big deal is. Anyway, sorry about that, gang. Right. If we're all good, and B is rejoining us shortly,
Yes, B is slowly returning to the chair.
Magic. Thank you again for your service. You start to approach the location, but there was something that Jodie didn't mention to you, probably because she didn't know. Because if she'd known, I think it would have come up. There are 4 figures around a kind of makeshift campsite, kind of a fortified makeshift campsite, near to where you understand the location, the entrance of the vault to be. And how many? One of these, I mean, they're all dressed in various uniforms except for one who is wearing a full suit of power armor.
Metal Man.
Isabeau will hold up a hand and kind of back everybody up off the road and kind of into a bush before saying, "How y'all want to handle this?"
No reason we can't talk before things get a little hairy.
Metal
Maybe they're
Man.
friendly.
Is Metal Man Enclave?
Do either of you? I mean, you can tell they're not Enclave.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not sure that Isabeau is old enough to know what the Enclave is.
Oh God, you're probably right. I mean, Ace.
I know Ace has no idea what it is.
Really?
He may have heard Garn talking about
Yeah.
them, but he has no reason to know who exactly they are.
I'll cross the bridge of whether Sweets knows about the Enclave when B gets to close enough to the microphone. But
B is here.
Are you here, B?
I'm here.
Do you have any preference over whether your character has heard of the Enclave?
I'm gonna say it's probably not come up, just
Yeah.
because the Enclave wasn't big in anywhere but, like, you know.
Yeah, they were what, in the East Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were in DC on the East Coast, and they were like in, I want to say, Northern California on the West Coast.
Like,
So,
just a
they're
bit north of San Francisco.
so they're kind of dotted about, but yeah, they've probably not come up. So you three don't know what Garn is talking about. Even Wes makes a kind of questioning beep noise.
I don't
Which
know
is
what
really
a clave
funny.
is, but I think they're on the ground.
Which is really funny, actually, because I think iBots were invented by the Enclave.
Yeah.
Listen.
He doesn't know
do
where
you
he
have
come from.
distinct memories of being born?
Wes has been, like, delivered from his trauma, okay? He's
Damn
elevated.
Skippy.
Wes has been through so much therapy that his trauma is gone. Just
Wes?
gone. All of it.
Wish that were me.
Wes got kind of co-opted as a post-iBot and developed a personality along the way. He doesn't remember what he was before. But yes, B, in case you missed it, there's 4 Brotherhood of Steel soldiers up ahead, standing kind of camped out in front of where you believe the entrance to the vault is. Actually, B, before we get into that, can we flash back to when Jody took you aside for a moment before sending you all off?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Jody closes the door after the other 3 have left the office, waits until she can hear all 3 sets of footsteps walking away so she knows no one's listening at the door, and she says, okay, I didn't want to do this in front of the others. They actually seem on the up and up, but I've been wrong before, so I don't want them to know what I'm giving you. Well, they're probably going to have to know about one of them, because... And she pulls down a sort of metal case from inside... Well, she has to unlock. She has to unlock a cupboard first, but she pulls out a little metal box, opens it up, and hands you a Pip-Boy.
Ooh.
This
shiny.
is just temporary. This is on loan from the Apocalypse Post. I expect to get it back afterwards. But
Okay, boss.
I had to give Lopez one too. Lopez? Oh, Lopez is Lopez's X-Ray's name. I had to give Lopez one too, because well, if a vault doesn't open, if a vault isn't already open and there isn't someone on the other side to open it for you, you need a Pip-Boy to open it up. So That's two of our stock of Pip Boys loaned out at the moment. I don't like making a habit of it, but they're tools, they're meant to be used. So.
I'll bring it back all nice and shiny and used.
Sounds fantastic. Okay, so you keep that on you. You can put it on your wrist. It'll show you exactly where you need to go. Has a few other neat tricks it can do, but what you'll mostly need it for is opening the vault. Two other things, and these, again, if you don't use them, I'd quite like them back, but... And she goes to a little wall safe, actually, behind a framed painting, and she gives you two items. One is a small, round metal disc, can fit in the palm of your hand, and she says, "This is a miniature EMP device, not as powerful as some of the big stuff that you get. You know, not the kind of thing that the Brotherhood of Steel would particularly blink at, but if you get into a situation where you're being overpowered by, I don't know, robots or automatons or turrets or just people with loads and loads of energy weapons, this takes them out for 5 minutes. But watch it, because it'll also take out that fancy-looking laser gat your friend has got as well. So, just be careful and use it if you need to, okay?
I'll be careful.
And this, she picks up, it's a little canister about the size of a can of soda, made of metal, with a pull pin in it. She hands it over and says, "That is a sleeping gas grenade. If the area is overrun with ferals or mole rats or shit like that, I expect you all to be able to take care of yourselves up to a certain point, but if you're completely overrun..." One second.
Bless.
Sorry, I had to
Bless.
Achoo. Anyway, sorry. If you're completely overrun, pull this. Make sure you're not in the range. It's got about a 15-foot range. Make sure you're not in the middle of it, but it'll help. It won't knock anything out right away, but give it about a minute and they'll start to drop. Be out for maybe an hour.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate you looking out for me.
Oh, one last thing, and she actually just pulls something from her breast pocket and tosses it to you. It is a matchbox full of bobby pins. You're good at lockpicking. I figure you'll make good use of these.
I sure will.
Alright, yeah, keep your special goodies to yourself if you can manage it, but if you need to use them, you need to use them. I just don't want people I don't know mugging one of my best girls, okay?
Thanks.
Alright, you take care.
Friend's real big.
Jodie claps you on the shoulder, then opens the door for you. Okay, go show him the way. We flash back now to where you all are hobbiting just off the road, out of sight of the team of 4 Brotherhood of Steel soldiers. And yeah, I think we gave everyone a chance to react except B, who, if you wish, can do that now.
Recognize them?
Sorry, repeat that.
Do I recognize them?
You'll have to come out from cover, and you will have to roll me... Oh, one of them is in full armor, so you don't recognize that one. But the other 4 all... Yeah, the other 4, you would be able to see their faces if you kind of get a good look. So I'm going to say, roll inspect. And I'm going to say, how far away do you reckon you guys would have come off the road? Like maybe... We talking like 20, 30 feet, or... I'm
gonna say we're like only like 15, 20 feet out. Like, Isabeau pulled everybody to, like, partial cover, but she's not looking to get a bunch of twigs in her hair today.
Fair dues. Okay, so they're probably aware that there's someone nearby, and they're looking alert, but they are notably not drawing guns. Well, apart from the one in the power armor, they just look like they're patrolling with their gun out anyway. But they're not, they don't have their gun out in reaction to you. B has rolled an success, and I'm going to say that that's enough to say that one of them you recognize, well, you don't know for sure, but they have curly black hair, and they are kind of twirling a cigarette packet in their hands, and you recognize this person as Kit Castle. You're fairly sure it's them. It's one of the knights that you are familiar with from back in Avalon.
Alright, guys. It's probably fine.
Isabeau just sort of shrugs and says, "Alright, if you say so."
Don't trust new friend.
Maybe not new friends, but at the very least, people who won't shoot us immediately.
Not new friends?
It'll be
Not
fine.
yet.
What was that here?
I didn't say anything. B said it'll be fine.
Oh, sorry.
Do you all approach, or?
I approach at least.
Yeah, Isabeau has a good track record with Brotherhood of Steel. She'll approach slightly behind Sweets.
Guarded Ace bringing up the rear.
As you do. As you approach, all four of them will kind of look to you, look kind of attentive, alert. The one in the power armor steps forward and you can kind of tell they're straightening their back, and they heft their I'm going to say they have a laser rifle, and they heft it in kind of a way to kind of like draw attention to it, but they are not aiming it at you. They're just kind of making a "don't make any trouble" kind of gesture. And you can hear a female voice through the helmet say, "Hold up, what's your business?"
Official Apocalypse Post business.
Do you have any kind of proof of that, or? And then you hear one of the others pipe up, and yeah, it is definitely Kit Castle. And Castle steps forward and says, "Oh, sorry, Cartwright."
You
Castle
did say
does not
smoke.
Castle does smoke. They're not smoking right now, but yeah. Castle steps forward and says, "Cartwright, that's Sweets. She's from back home. She's fine."
Also,
Well,
I have Wes.
Wes goes beep boop. Cartwright kind of shifts as if she's not very happy with her authority being challenged. Well, yes, but lots of people come from Avalon doesn't mean that they're definitely telling the truth. Plus, anyone can get an eyebot. Oh, come on, Cartwright. You're just bored because we've had nothing to do. They're not... by the way, B, there was something I forgot to mention that Jody gave you.
Okay.
Now, yeah, you will know, and I think I might have already mentioned this to you, that as a sort of fail-safe measure, in case of couriers getting intercepted or what have you, when there are messages being delivered, the Apocalypse Post always takes copies. So there would have been the actual message that Lopez will have taken to the vault, but there would have also have been 2 copies to be destroyed upon successful delivery of the original. The 2 copies were one in Courier X-Ray's possession, just kind of secreted on his person in case something happened to the original, and the other is held back at the depot. Jodie made another copy and gave that to you with explicit instructions. Like, discretion is one of the things that is prized about the Apocalypse Post. So, if you need to read this message to get clues about what happened to Lopez, that's fine, but don't do it unless you absolutely have to. So you've got the letter that X-Ray was sent to deliver if you need it.
Okay.
And it is stamped. It's kind of got it's stamped with two things. One is copy, and one is the logo, the seal of the Apocalypse Post.
Is it closed?
The letter is closed, yes, but the two stamps on it are on the outside.
Okay, then I'm gonna keep that in my pocket.
Cool.
Do you know how hard it is to get a good iBot? These things are precious. Okay, Wes is my special Apocalypse Post buddy. How dare you malign my buddy?
Wes bobs up and down happily. The one of them who you recognize as being dressed as a scribe says, I mean, she's got a good point, Cartwright. You don't find very many good ones. The one we found was all trashed and stuff. Hey, don't tell the Wastelanders about the tech we found, okay? That's need-to-know information. But...
Pardon me.
Yes?
Did y'all find an iBot pertinent to this investigation?
Pertinent to this we found an iBot. It had been trashed. We've reclaimed it. We're going to be sending it back to Avalon as soon as our relief arrives.
I'm sorry. The Brotherhood of Steel, who we rely on for protection, and whom relies on Fontaine-branded laser guns for protection, and you said that the Fontaines did have a relationship.
They absolutely do, and you see Cartwright clock the fact that you are carrying very clearly Fontaine-branded weapons.
Yeah, she's gonna gesture to the branding on Cartwright's gun, and she's gonna say, it sure would be a shame for such an upstanding organization to get in the way of another one who's just trying to reclaim their lost property. Besides, if the iBot's really trashed, it's not exactly dangerous technology now, is it?
I'm gonna say, roll charisma, I think?
Fuck.
You only need one success, because what you're making here are excellent points. Oh god, do you only have one in charisma?
That is correct.
Once again, Hannah has built a character who is not for charisma.
Oh, use Intimidate. Do you have anything in Intimidate?
Yes, Intimidate is a tag skill.
Okay, roll Intimidate. That is, that's a success, that's all you needed. Cartwright, like, you see them physically step back a half step. Listen, it's just that it's not a marked iBot or anything. Any refuse tech is automatically the property of the Brotherhood of Steel. We're just reclaiming it so it doesn't fall into...
That really depends on y'all's trade agreements and the continued goodwill of the people you serve.
Well, how about this? Why don't you just let us look it over, make sure it's not the one that we were also looking for, and then if it's not, y'all still can have it.
I'm going to say that because actually I kind of want to have Ace roll charisma as well. Like, they're going to cooperate, but I want to have Ace roll as well because Ace is good at talking, and I want to see if they can grease the wheels a little more.
Can I use charm?
You fucking can. Shit me, okay. Sorry, that's a bunch of 2s, but you do have 3 successes in there, that's fine. Hannah says, Ace, actually good at charisma. Isabeau, rich and me. Okay, yeah, as soon as you're talking, Ace, the scribe and Castle are just kind of nodding, and Castle says, yeah, they're being reasonable, Cartwright. Let's just let them have a look at it. If it's Apocalypse Post property, we don't really have the right to it. Fine, but for the record, says Cartwright, we had no way of knowing it was an iBot. It was a post iBot. There are plenty of them around here that aren't. Yeah, you can cool it with the defensiveness, okay? You can't tell because, Cartwright's wearing a helmet, but she kind of turns her head sharply and you can feel that she's giving Castle a look. But Castle just is kind of like, follow me, gang, I'll take you to it. And yeah, Castle leads you away from the kind of makeshift campsite, into a little tent. It's just like, one of those basic, excuse me, I'm gesturing wildly. Why? You can't see me. Takes you to a tent, like one of those army tents that you set up for what have you. Like square inside, there's a table. Underneath the table there's a metal trunk. He pops it open and hefts out an iBot, which he lays on the table. The iBot looks like it has some bullet holes in it, and excuse me. Yeah, it is not currently functional. Would anyone like to, have a closer look at the iBot? And if so, with which skill?
Does anyone have anything in tech?
I'm not rolling. Garn is just looking it over and sniffing it and just kind of, being Garn.
It occurs to me that maybe none of you have put anything in tech.
Y'all mind if I step through?
But Hannah did put stuff in intelligence. Go ahead.
Oh, I put stuff in science and technology.
Oh, fantastic.
And intelligence.
Yeah, this absolutely falls under that wheelhouse. Go ahead and roll me science and tech, s'il vous plaît. Okay, I see 2 successes. Cool.
So close to a crit.
It was so close to a crit, it really was.
Alas.
I was scared that saying that 3 6s was a crit, no matter how many dice you're rolling, would make it too easy. But it doesn't seem to have so far, so that's nice. Yes, so what you determine, and I'm going to say that, Wes is there, so you kind of have him to compare and contrast. You're kind of looking this over, and I will say, you heard that all these little blighters have tracking beacons, and you kind of look on Wes to kind of see where it is. There's a little antenna that sticks out, and you find a similar little antenna on this iBot, and you can see that the place where the antenna sticks out, the antenna is now part of it is broken off, it's kind of bent, and there's a bullet hole very near to it, so it's clear that being shot is what took out this iBot's tracking beacon. You can tell without a shadow of a doubt that this is, just based on all the evidence, this is Shin. This is X-Ray's iBot.
I'm gonna gesture to Cartwright and say, you can see here the proprietary Apocalypse Post tracker design that does mark this as post property. And if you'll give me some time, I might be able to get the little gentleman up and running. I don't know if that's true, Dally.
I will say that you could probably if you rolled well and you had time and you had the correct tools. She said might, so it isn't like. Yes, very good point, Bucky. But yeah, Cartwright has followed you all and poked her head through. And she just kind of nods. She's trying to kind of retain a little bit of her dignity after being so obviously proven wrong, and says, yes, I can admit when I may have jumped the gun slightly. This is Apocalypse Post property. Now, how many of you are affiliated with Apocalypse Post?
Currently, all of us.
And on a
Good job.
permanent basis?
That would be me.
Alright, I will remand this Eyebot to your custody, and your custody and the custody of anyone you deem suitable to also... anyone you vouch for.
I vouch for these.
Your loss. Yep, alright. The Eyebot's yours, it was busted anyway. And she just kind of trudges back. Clearly like, I didn't get to do anything fun.
If you don't mind me asking, where'd you find this Eyebot?
You're now talking to Castle, since Cartwright has buggered off. And Castle says, I can show you if you like. We might want to be a little subtle about it, though. Cartwright, Lord help me, she means well, but she just gets a little overzealous about guard duty sometimes. So follow me, but maybe we'll make it look like I'm just showing you on your way. How's that sound?
Sounds excellent.
How do you want to carry this, your little fella, by the way?
I really like Hannah's idea.
What's that?
Hannah said concept, Garn wears the disabled Eyebot and a giant Deathclaw baby Bjorn.
Oh my god. I mean, Garn, you do have a backpack. It is huge. It will fit Shin if you would like to carry them.
Can he wear it as a front pack?
If you would like to wear it as a front pack, you may.
It needs to see the world.
Oh my god. Shin hasn't woken up. Shin is sleeping
It
right
needs
now.
to see the world.
Okay.
Listen, it's like that one robot that's in space.
He's taking a nap.
Okay.
I'm in space.
Space.
Shin is being enriched while napping. Okay, you put Shin in your front backpack. Castle raises an eyebrow but doesn't comment further and is going to subtly lead you all away from the little encampment and towards Beep Beep. Sweets, you very much can tell from your Pip-Boy that we are moving closer to the entrance of the vault.
Excellent.
Bucky wants to know whose idea was this in character. It can't have been Garn. No, it can be Garn's.
But it's less likely.
Ace probably will have suggested it.
Yeah. You do notice, by the way, that just like while you're all kind of poring over Shin and putting Shin in a little papoose, I guess, you notice Wes kind of bobbing around and making concerned beeping noises.
Garn
It's
kind
gonna
of
be
looks at
funny.
Garn looks over at Wes and he says, No cry. We protect.
Wes kind of bobs himself back and forth in a nodding motion. As you are all following, thingy me, goodness me, Castle, thank you. Could I ask everyone just to make a, let's say, an agility or charisma check? Feel free to turn that up to sneak if you've got it. Just basically roll at least one success or don't beef it, and just to make sure that you don't massively draw attention to yourself as Castle's showing you where to go. Okay, we have 2 successes from Garn. We have 2 successes from Ace.
And I
I did it wrong twice.
Okay, so neither of these are accurate. Okay, from B we have 3 successes, and from we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, you've all rolled at least 1 success. You're good. Kit Castle leads you to a place where, gosh, there's actually a little bit of, you can see a couple bullet casings. You can see a loose bullet there, actually. And, some burn marks where clearly Shin was trying to defend themselves. And Castle is kind of gonna, lean over to Sweets and say, so, it didn't actually come up while Cartwright was doing her best interrogation impression, but what is the business you have here with the Post?
I so badly want to be like, it's confidential, but
You can say that if you like.
yeah, but it's Castle. Castle's not a bad person.
You could, yeah. If you say that, they'll probably they'll probably assume you're joking.
Well, it's a little complicated, but someone went missing.
Oh, one of the couriers, right? I think I heard about this.
Yeah.
So that was his Eyebot. Right, that all makes sense now. So, hold up. Is it true then that he got into the vault?
We don't know yet.
'Cause see, we've been trying to make contact, but the guy on the other side, he's just not letting anyone in, so I'd love to know how Lopez managed it. No, wait. Castle doesn't know exactly which courier it was, so I'd love to know how that courier managed it.
Well, so would we.
Tell you what.
Perhaps
now, listen.
He just asked very nicely.
What was that, Isabeau?
Perhaps he just asked very nicely.
I mean, you knew the guy. Sweets? Is he a charmer? And I will tell you, no. Courier X-Ray is very good at his job, but he is not a very sociable person.
Well, I think that everyone has a very special skill set all to themselves. And I don't think that charm...
He's a jerk, got it. Listen, this is me speaking. This is me taking a smoke break, and as such, not being on duty. They even put an unlit cigarette in the corner of their mouth, just as if to prove a point. Because, obviously I wouldn't be saying this as a knight of the Brotherhood of Steel. But, if you happen to get in there, find out what happened, tell me what the deal is, that could be good. That could, maybe be reason for me to, distract the rest of my, squad mates while you, get in there. 'Cause see, the thing is, Brotherhood at the moment, we're kind of in a holding pattern, right? We're meant to be making sure that no one else gets into the vault before we do, because, it's a vault, it's probably full of tech, old world advanced technology is Brotherhood of Steel permit, etc., etc. But it's fucking boring, So, I am sick of being stuck here waiting. We're not allowed to charge in, which, to be fair, I'm good with. I don't... If there's civilians inside, right, I don't want them to be caught in any crossfire. We're allowed to go in if we're let in, sure, but that guy Bainbridge or whatever his name is. He's not letting anyone in. So, we're stuck here. You are not bound by the same rules as us. We're not allowed to sneak in. We're not allowed to try and distract the guy and get past him. We're not allowed to override the door controls with they kind of glance at your wrist, something like a pit boy. So, yeah, I'm gonna say you do that for me, and I will show you the best way to get in without being seen by my friends.
We have a deal.
Fantastic. And is there anything, by the way, that any of you would like to do with the scene of the Eyebot crime, as it were, before you move on?
I'd like to check on the entire bullet that's left.
You sure can. This is clearly a bullet that missed its target and landed in the dirt. It is a...
Bullet?
It is a something millimeter.
It's a bullet.
It's an X
10 millimeter?
millimeter. It's
10 mil?
It's from a Magnum. It's from a Magnum revolver, is what you can tell.
Okay.
And-
The mysterious stranger?
Oh gosh. No, I will say it's not the mysterious stranger. It's someone else with a Magnum.
7 millimeter.
7 millimeter. Okay. We'll say it's 7 millimeter.
Dally, can I tell you how sad I am? I told B about this last night, but I'm very sad that Send in the Clowns wasn't taken in a more mysterious stranger direction.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want the clown to show up?
But with an actual clown?
Maybe in later iterations of the game. Maybe in Paper Moon version 2.
Yes. What if
Instead
we
of-
actually sent in the clowns?
Instead of a cool guitar riff, it's just like circus music, and then at the end it goes. Oh, you're a monster. Okay.
Not even like for combat, just like when you need a convenient distraction most.
Yeah, you get to keep a tiny car in your pocket, and then a bunch of clowns come out of it.
I mean, this is in keeping with certain Fallout elements, but for the time being, you have a 7 millimeter bullet for a Magnum revolver. You can keep hold of that if you want to.
Sure. Can I tell anything about, like, the trajectory from which it was fired? Can I look at, like,
I do
where
not
it is
know.
in relation to the casings?
Okay, so as far as the casings were concerned, the casings are not that far. What you can kind of infer is that maybe the person wasn't a great aim and came up fairly close, like definitely within about 10 feet, in order to hit the Eyebot.
And still miss?
10 feet. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he also hit, right? Because the Eyebot has been shot. But, like, you know,
Yeah, that's fair.
maybe not used to using a gun all the time. But yeah, you've got like striation marks on this bullet, but you have nothing to compare that to. So you can't really glean any information from that bullet, unless you had other bullets to compare it to.
Yeah, no, I just meant, like, were they shooting from, like, near the vault entrance?
They absolutely were, yes.
Okay,
Like,
so they didn't come from outside and shoot towards the vault.
Correct, yes. Sorry, that is entirely correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kit at this point is going to casually circle around. They have actually started smoking at this point, but they're like being careful to stay downwind, if you will. And they gesture to what looks to be a cave opening and says, when I was looking around, no one else in the group knows, so don't mention it to them. But that cave through there, follow it along. It lets out just in front of the vault door. But be really fucking careful, because that place is littered with traps. Okay? So, I don't want to be sending you to your death, so just watch yourself, okay?
I'll be careful.
Will they be careful? They are looking slightly pointedly at Garn.
Garn is what you would call very lightfoot.
If you say so, bud. Okay, I am going to go and distract...
I don't think foot's
Huh?
the part that's heavy.
Yeah. I trust all of you to figure it out. Well, it's not my problem anymore. Sweets, don't die. The rest of you, it was nice meeting you. And Castle is going to head back. You can see they are making a beeline for Cartwright. Presumably going to annoy her so that she doesn't have her attention anywhere near the vault. So you have been given, this cave here. It seems fairly shallow, fairly wide. Garn will absolutely be able to fit through, because what kind of a monster am I? And do you all go in?
Yes.
Yep.
And Hannah, would you roll me science and tech to see how you do with little Shin?
Okie dokie.
I'm going to say that you need 6 successes in total. So if you only get some of those successes right now, you can carry on working when you next have time.
Okay, works for me.
One,
That looks
two,
like
three,
4.
4. Okay, cool. You are 2/3 of the way there to repairing. I'm going to say to repairing the tracker beacon.
Yeah, that's where she's starting.
Yeah.
She would like to eventually get Portion fixed up, but
I will also say the tracker beacon is different from the communication system. So, like, you get the tracker working, Shin will start showing up on the system again, but you won't be able to be in direct... Of course, you have Wes, so if you want to be in direct contact with Jody, you can. Wes has a communication system built in.
Yeah, I was not aware that the Apocalypse Post iBots did that at all.
I completely forgot. I'm so sorry.
I just figured that Jody would appreciate seeing it pop up on the system.
Totally fair, and she absolutely would. But yes, I suppose in character, actually, you wouldn't necessarily... no, Isabel's got her finger on the pulse. No, you probably would know in character that you can communicate through iBots. Garn and Ace wouldn't know that, though.
Garn has no thoughts hidden.
Garn has nothing to communicate. Do you all head into the cave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now seems like a good moment to point out that I did swap some of my perks around for Friend of the Night.
One moment. Pull that up. Oh my goodness, sorry, my Google Drive is being weird. I've also noticed we have been going for close to 2 hours. Does anyone want to...
do a part 2, Dally?
I'm so sorry. I'm so shit at actually getting one-shots to be one-shots.
No one else is sorry.
Okay.
We like that.
Okay.
I have to play Garn again another night.
Oh no.
Oh no, I want to be Sweets.
Yeah, does anyone want to take like a 5-10 minute break, bio break or anything, or do you want to keep going?
We would like a bio break.
Cool. Bio break, meet back here. Can we say 5 past? Would that be okay?
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Well, if it's a bit after, don't worry about it.
Okay. Guys, B is discriminating against my disability.
What
Which
is
What
one?
did you
doing?
do?
Oof, which one?
Hannah, what
That's
did you
it.
do?
I didn't do anything. B's just telling me how I should be ashamed of falling down all the time.
I did not say that.
I'm pretty sure those were his exact words.
What were your actual exact words, B?
I said, "Oh, I didn't trip. That didn't happen. I'm perfectly normal."
It
See?
sounds like B
You
was.
said you're perfectly normal around Hannah? How could you?
It sounds like
Ableism.
B was inflicting a self burn.
That's ableist, B.
It sounds like B actually tripped.
Who's
B?
to say?
Tripping?
There were no witnesses.
B's cancelled.
We can't
Because of-
cancel bees. There's already so few of them.
No.
Are you beist, Hannah?
Are you beast?
I'm beast mode.
Wait, that's Garn's job.
Oh no.
What? No, surely not. Corn's a perfectly normal super mutant.
With his perfectly normal super mutant tail.
Yes, exactly. Incredibly, we're all back and it's not even 5 past yet.
I want you to know that Isabeau is going to go home and be like, Daddy, you would not believe what they put me through. Like,
I need to think about whether Big Daddy has had any adventuring experience of his own, because if he has, he'll know that this is pretty standard.
I remember, like a while ago, talking to Hannah about Isabella a little bit. Like just a little thing, like not much. And I said, "What's she gonna think about Garn?" And Hannah said, "I think that her daddy will be very interested to know about him."
Incredible. I'm also, yeah. Isabeau's daddy has come up a lot less than I thought he would, actually.
listen,
I'm not complaining, but I love how a lot of the time when we talk about your character is her dad comes up.
mm-hmm.
He's a big part of her backstory.
That's
Okay.
just her backstory is.
Shall we get back to it?
Yes.
I see a bee is a typing. Maybe they are typing an apology video. Oh. Favorite part is how no one has asked if Sweets is their real name. It's the Wasteland. I legitimately have a character called... Oh, I can't actually think of any weird names off the top of my head, but I have them.
You have a character named Gur.
Oh, yes, but I was meaning specifically in this setting. And to be fair, Gur is not their birth name.
Okay, but no one's asked what flower it was.
Good.
Garn's name is Garn, so he just kind of assumes everyone is who they tell him they are.
And Ace's name is Ace. That hasn't been questioned either.
I have more questions about Garn than I do Ace. Ace
Which is a
showed
real
off.
shame. This is a real shame because Ace is fascinating. But
Ace
Garn...
showed off their like playing card explosive at the beginning, and Isabeau was pretty much like, Ace, got it. And I think that's as much as she's considered him.
Oh,
Garn actually
that's
has
right.
an explanation for his name if you ask him, but
Oh.
no one's asked him.
Sweet.
Well, okay, whenever you get back.
God,
What were you going to say, Big?
Like, Sweets also has, like, an explanation behind her name.
Alright, whenever you all get back to the depot, I'll have someone ask about
Listen.
all your magical names. Sound good?
listen, I did my part. I talked to the robot about it bobbing up and down. I made it clear it was a personality trait.
That was really sweet of you. I don't think I told you about that, did I?
I'm tired. I
What?
can only do so much. I'm playing someone who doesn't care about any of you.
No, yeah, I was wondering, B, did you pass that information on to Hannah?
What? Like, my name?
No, about Wes bobbing up and down.
Oh, yeah, I was like, he loves to bob up and down because he's just a little man.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Oh,
just think
man.
that's adorable. Okay, it's 9 past, let's get back to it. You all get through the cave, and on the other side, I will, I'll need all of you to, roll, some kind of perception roll, probably inspect. If you have anything that has to do specifically with explosives, you can maybe roll that instead. But the difficulty is lowered to the difficulty threshold, success threshold, sorry, is lowered to a 4 because Castle already warned you about this.
How many successes do we need?
Honestly,
No.
the more you get, the more you find.
Understood.
I got a 4.
I
And
only
that's fine,
had
the
one
threshold-
dice and it succeeded.
Excellent. There's a lot of numbers. Can everyone list off how many successes they got? Bucky, you said you got 1.
Yes, 1.
Ace, you got
4.
You got 4.
4
B,
successes.
4 successes. B, you got
How are the successes counted? Because I thought a success was just a 6.
Or a 5.
no. Okay, so unless I say otherwise, the standard threshold for success is 5. So everything 5 or over counts as a success. If something is particularly difficult, I will raise the threshold to a 6. If something's particularly easy, I will lower the threshold to a 4. This I'm making easy because Kit Castle gave you warning. The success threshold is a 4. So tell me how many of your dice you rolled 4 or higher.
Oh, if it's including 4s, then I got 6.
Okay, cool.
I got 3 successes.
Cool. And B, let's see where yours is.
Me?
Oh, there it is. Okay. You got 2 successes. Fantastic. Isabeau, with your... Wait, no. Who was it that got 1 success? Was that Bucky?
Yes.
Just the 1, yeah.
Bucky, with your 1 success. There's a lot of stuff on the ground here. Someone's been very untidy.
Deathclaws have good smell and hearing, but poor eyesight.
You can smell some like powder, like I don't know, is it gunpowder?
Icy powder?
Icy powder. You can smell some kind of munitions. Possibly, yes, let's go with that. Everyone else, actually, who was it that rolled 6? That was Ace, wasn't it?
Yup.
Okay, Isabeau and Sweets, you can see that the floor between here and there's stairs that lead up to a catwalk that lead across to a sort of not a terminal, but like that piece of machinery. It's basically
No.
the panel that you open the vault door from. You can see it's
Okay.
got the jack for the Pip-Boy cable. It's got intercoms. It's got some buttons, and beyond that is the closed vault door. You see that from all the way across, there are scattered a lot of frag mines. You can see some grenade bouquets. Definitely some tripwires, laser tripwires. In fact, you can't see what they're connected to, but you see the lasers. And you're like, there's a lot, and you cannot be sure you've got all of them. Ace, on the other hand, rolled 6 successes. You can pinpoint this. This is your wheelhouse. You know explosives. You build explosives. You know exactly where all of them are, and as such, if you want to, you can either yeah, you know where every single one of them is. You can either use an agility skill to step over them and help your friends know where to step, or you can use I think it would be explosives to disarm them, or at least disarm enough of them to clear a path for you and your friends. And in either case, because you rolled so well, the threshold is 4.
Ace is just kind of hold up his hand, is like, hold it, let me take care of this real quick. And just kind of kneels down and just kind of slowly but surely starts disabling explosives in their way.
Well, I certainly didn't want to go first.
Incredible. I will say, could you roll me explosives again? Success threshold at a 4. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes, that is plenty. I'm going to say you don't do it all super quick. It takes a little time, but you clear a path, and you have some new. Roll me a d10, would you? 7. You get 7 various explosives. Like, some of them are frag mines, some of them are grenades. There's maybe a pulse grenade in there, something like that. But you have some extra blowing up friends.
Stuff to take apart later.
Exactly. You reach the control panel to the vault door. Before you is an array of buttons you don't understand, but as I mentioned, a button with an intercom and a port for a Pip-Boy jack. What do you do?
I plug my Pip-Boy in.
You plug your Pip-Boy in. You have the option now, a little button comes up. You have the option to press it to open the door.
Let's open the fucking door.
I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
Red lights start flashing, klaxons start sounding. For those of you who have been around a vault before, Isabeau, I'm going to say this includes you. Garn includes you as well, since you're from a vault. This is all normal.
Family.
No.
His family's from a vault. He's
Garn.
not.
Garn isn't. Okay, Garn, you're not familiar with this then, just Isabeau. But yeah, bright lights, loud noises, basically a big warning, the vault door is opening, as this huge cog-shaped behemoth starts rolling slowly to one side. And over the intercom you hear, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm opening the door.
Just stopping by.
Listen, you can't just stop by here. This place is closed to the outside.
We're looking for somebody.
Door.
Looking for who?
Someone who came by here earlier.
Well, there's not. Hold on. Listen, I've got more traps on the other side, so how did you get Never mind. Just hold there. I'm coming out to meet you. Don't try anything. I'm armed. And as the door pulls to one side, and you can see a sort of catwalk extend across to the other side, and you see a man walking across it. In fact, I have a picture of him. I'll talk to you while I'm getting the picture up. So, this guy is like in his mid-50s, I'd guess. He has, hang on. Oh, it turns out I can't multitask. That's a shame.
That's okay.
He has sort of dark blonde hair, and oh no.
Oh no?
No, it's fine. I just pressed the wrong button. There we go. He's dressed quite smartly. He's wearing on top of what you see in the picture, which is limited because I used The Sims, he's also wearing something that looks like it's kind of like a cross between a wizard's robe and a lab coat. It's kind of light blue in colour. He's got a bit of a receding hairline, beard, and dark bags under his eyes. He does not look like he's been sleeping well. And he approaches you holding, "Hey, everybody, go ahead and roll me your small guns or your inspect skill." Shoot, did that come across okay?
Yeah,
Yes,
it did.
we just all had to look up whether
Eh.
small guns or inspect was better.
Fair.
Is small guns the same as handguns?
Did I put it as handguns? Oh yeah, I think I used to call it handguns, and then it's the same thing.
Got it. Okay.
I'm calling it small guns now because I remembered that some small guns actually take 2 hands to use.
Wait, Derp, hold on, I rolled wrong.
Oh shit, Hannah rolled our first crit of the session. That's 3 6s, right?
Yes.
Snapdragon, okay.
I almost critted.
Oh,
You did.
gee, that's a really fucking good roll.
You got 100% successes, though,
God damn.
which is still spicy.
That is very spicy. Yeah, I'm gonna say all of you. Like, Garn, you're like, that's a powerful gun. You do not see a lot of people with that gun, but the people who do have that gun make loud boom go. So, make loud boom noise. Everyone else, that's a Magnum revolver. Isabeau, with your extraordinary success, the hand he's holding it with is shaking. He doesn't seem like he's particularly good with guns. He levels the pistol at you with a slightly shaky hand that only Isabeau can detect. And 1 moment, please. Yeah, sorry, just had a PM there. He's leveling the gun at all of you. He takes a step back when he sees Garn, but he tries to kind of steady himself and goes, "All right, clearly you've gotten past my defensive measures, but..."
Isabeau holds her empty hands up and steps towards him and says, "Sir, I understand you have us at a bit of a disadvantage here, but I would be remiss if I did not point out that your safety is on."
Fuck.
And as soon as he looks down at the gun, she's going to try to knock it out of his hands and grab it.
I get you, Hannah, but you are actually going to have to roll me a lie for that.
No! Can't I
sorry.
just hit him?
Oh no, it's charisma, fuck. Do you know what, though? That was so canny. Success threshold is down to 4.
Well, pray for me. No!
In the arms of the angel,
Shit,
fly
me.
away.
Oh no. Wait, actually, you know how you were saying the safety's on? That actually... Doesn't that seem like a bit more of an intimidation to you?
God, I hope so.
Roll it. There we go. Nice and tasty. I'm still working out the kinks, folks. I keep forgetting intimidation exists. He looks down. Go ahead and roll some kind of agility check that you can justify. It would be agility, maybe strength, one or the other.
I vote agility. No reason.
You can add reflex if you have it.
Okay. I do not, but I have agility.
Roll me agility. You need just 1 success, Hannah.
This is just doomed.
Okay,
Listen, it was a good idea.
It was
and
a fantastic idea, Hannah. I really should have given you at least part of it for free, but I think I was always going to need you to roll to disarm him. Which is unfortunately where it fell down. The other 3 of you...
So many 3s.
That is so many threes. If threes were a crit number, you'd be sat, but no. The other three of you, you see that as Isabeau says your safety's on, this man, excuse me, does look down at his gun. As he does so, Isabeau goes for him, but she misjudges the distance. He steps back. There is an opening for someone else to step in or to do something. What would the rest of you like to do? And would you like to roll initiative if more than one of you wants to do something and we need to do it in order? Not roll initiative, take initiative. Sorry, I think I said too many things.
I'm trying to think of what I can do.
Okay.
B said, can I leap?
As in, you want to try leaping forward and tackling him, or?
Knocking the gun out of his hand.
Yeah, you may leap. You can absolutely roll a leap check for that. I will say success threshold is at a 4 because he's distracted. Absolutely. That looks like 3 successes to me. You kind of... Well, tell me how you do it. You leap forward and you manage to reach him. How do you disarm him?
I'm just gonna, jump forward, smack it out of his hand and ideally quite far away, and then, jump back really fast.
Okay. So you're jumping back away from him?
Yes.
Back where you were?
Yeah, would you like me to make a second leap?
No, I'm happy enough with the success of the first leap that you can do that. Yes, the gun goes skittering. The gun goes skittering across the, what you see is a sort of concrete floor. And he staggers. He's still standing, but he's clearly panicked now.
Thank you, sweets. I regret misjudging the distance there, but you really came through. Now, could we have a conversation like civilized people?
Garn, sorry.
No, absolutely, go ahead, Bucky.
Garn is, I swear, not trying to be intimidating here. He just is intimidating. When he sees that it looks like people are kind of scuffling, he kind of he tries to avoid going on all fours, but he kind of instinctively ducks to do so before he kind of stumbles forward. Basically, he's trying to get closer to everyone moving, and he kind of takes a defensive sort of posture.
Okay, so you are at least temporarily, before the situation is resolved by Sweets disarming him, you take a slightly more animalistic stance.
Yeah.
Sweets and I'm going to say Sweets and Isabeau won't automatically notice this because they are both engaged in trying to disarm this guy. But if either of you would like, you can roll a general perception check to see if you notice out the corner of your eye.
Nah, I'm good. I don't think Isabeau's worried about Garn right now.
Sure. Did you want to roll B, or are you good too?
I'm good.
Okay. No one notices, except for Ace, but Ace already knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Garn's cover is already blown with Isabeau, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I'm not doing this to be oh, more hints or anything like that. Garn is just genuinely...
No, I really appreciate the character work. I like it.
He is genuinely trying to place himself in a position where he can defend if needed.
I will say something, though, and that is this. The man on the other side of the door is looking right at you. And you are not good enough at reading people to know whether he's clocked you or not, Garn, but he is scared of you. He's he staggers back and just automatically kind of raises his hands slightly and is like, wait, actually, is anyone pointing a weapon at him?
Isabeau
is a weapon pointed at
not to.
Sorry.
I will say Ace does have his hand on his pouch.
Okay. Sorry, both Bucky and Hannah talked at the same time. What did you say, Hannah?
Isabeau is explicitly not pointing a weapon at him and is actively trying to de-escalate the situation.
Incredible. Love it. And Bucky said Garn is a weapon pointed at him. Fair. So yeah, not in particular reaction to anything the rest of you are doing, but his hands start to slightly go up as if he's kind of fighting down the instinct to put his hands up, because Garn is terrifying. Like he has seen like a hint of what Garn might be behind the cloak, and he's like, no, no, no. Okay. He glances at the gun, sees that it is way out of his reach. He does not look particularly athletic. He's not going to be able to make a dive for it with any amount of guaranteed success. He looks shakily at you, Isabeau, and says, "All right, we'll talk." Incidentally, once you're inside, you see there aren't that many traps in here. He clearly did not bargain on anyone actually getting past the front door. There's like 1 or 2 laser tripwires, but they're easily avoided. Where can I, We can just talk here? Would that be alright? Possibly slightly further away from your pet?
Friend.
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh, Ace is gonna be pissed off about that.
Friend, you're friends with that creature.
Excuse me, sir, but if I have to respect him, I would thank you kindly to do the same.
Right, no, yes, I'm being very respectful. He is, like, very much keeping Garn in his line of sight, but, like, being very careful to avoid making eye contact. Like, obviously he can't see Garn's eyes anyway because of the hood, but he's, like, not looking anywhere near Garn's face or where it would be. What did you say, Bucky?
Garn says, "No scared. Garn friend."
It talks. Oh, God in heaven, it talks. Okay.
Oh, God in heaven, it talks.
Sir, do you know how many sensitivity trainings I have attended?
What's sensitivity training?
It means you don't refer to things that can talk as it.
He can talk. Listen, we all got off on the wrong foot. My name is Sage. My name is Robert Bainbridge. I am one of the vault technicians here in Great Inn, Vault 124. How can I help you, fine people?
We're looking for someone who came by here earlier.
I'm very sorry, but we do not get visitors here. We have you can see, incidentally, or can you? Everyone roll perception.
Is this inspect or percept?
I'm going to say just perception because it's not something you're specifically looking for. It's something that you might notice.
Garn thinks that the vault is very shiny.
It is pretty shiny. It's interesting, though. There's something a bit different about it, but I'll get into that in a minute.
Only 2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes for Ace, 2 successes for B. That looks like 1 success for...
Getting a lot of 3s.
Whoa, I keep forgetting you have such a high perception. Okay. Isabeau doesn't notice. B, what was yours?
2 successes.
2, there it is, sorry. Yeah, I think everyone... Wait, where's Garns?
Oh,
Garn got a
Garn
rock.
Garn just sees that the vault is very shiny.
Oh, right, you rolled a 2, okay. So Isabeau and Garn don't notice, but Ace, and especially you, Sweets, notice that he is glancing towards Wes, and there is a look of pained recognition on his face.
You recognize the eye back, don't you?
What? Is that what it's called? I don't... I mean, I... Listen, we don't... No one goes in or out of Vault 124, but, I sometimes have to go outside just to check on the situation, and I suppose maybe, sometimes I might have seen one of those things flying around.
And you saw it with its companion?
I mean, not that I can... I don't recall. And fucking everyone... roll inspect for this. And I'm going to roll his, a charisma skill for him.
Got a rock.
Oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong, sorry. There, oh god, he got a rock too.
I'm the only one who got a success.
Really?
Garn
No,
thinks the vault smells weird.
Oh, no. Yeah, technically, I did not roll a success, but I would like to take a moment to argue the DC down, because it
You
is
can
explicitly an
fuck
uncommon
it.
gun.
Yeah, that's fair. In fact, I mean, you rolled a crit success earlier. You know that almost certainly this is the man who shot Shin. You have a bullet from his gun. You know absolutely for certain that if he fired another bullet from that gun, and you check the ballistics, they would be identical. And yeah, the success threshold is 4. Every single one of you who rolled at least one success knows that this man is lying through his teeth.
Why lie to friends?
I thought you got a rock.
Oh,
You got a 4. Oh, you got a success now. Okay. You have a success now. Even Garn knows. Incredible. I'm not... Look, listen.
It's just like, please don't talk to me.
Maybe I have seen someone. Maybe.
Isabeau is going to very slowly pull the whole ass bullet out of her pants pocket and just like drop it on his chest.
While he's standing?
I thought we knocked him over.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, well, anyways, she's going to
But she does produce the gun.
him.
She produces the bullet. Yes. He looks at it with dawning horror. Listen, I shot it in self-defense, okay? I wasn't specifically trying to damage someone else's property, but that guy sent... And he realizes exactly what he just said, and it's like... the courier, fine, he wanted to get in, and no one comes in here, so he...
He what?
He must have made his robot, commanded it to distract me, because it was doing something to my traps out here, and I came out to stop it, and... Well, he wasn't there, and he must have slipped by me because I saw him on the security cameras. He got in, okay? You happy? The courier, who I was supposed to keep out, got in.
Where is he?
I'm going to give you all this for free. He is hesitating, and you can tell he's considering lying to you again.
I would highly recommend you continue to tell us the truth.
What skill
Gar-
would you like to use to back that up with? And Bucky, what are you going to do?
Garn looks at him, and then he looks at Ace and kind of tilts his head in that animal way again. And he says, "He not friend?"
I am.
Does that count as assisting with an intimidation roll?
It kind
I
of
mean,
does.
I am absolutely using charm.
Okay, you're using charm. You won't get a backup. You won't get assistance from Garn if you're using charm, but you do have a very good charm skill, so go ahead. It is gonna. The threshold is back at 5 now, though. But you still rolled 2 successes. He deflates slightly. Listen, I'm in trouble here. Okay. He's still in the vault. I don't want to keep him here. But he has seen inside the vault. He knows what we have.
What have?
I'm not... This is the whole problem. We don't want outsiders knowing what resources we may or may not have in Vault 124 and coming in here and trying to take it from us. It's safer for everyone that no one knows what's in here. All right? But that guy, I think
And
Lopez...
you didn't think this could have been prevented by simply allowing him to deliver your mail?
He specifically said he had to give it to the Overseer. Okay? I'm not the Overseer. I'm obviously not the Overseer. I tried to tell him I was the Overseer. He knew I was lying. He insisted on going inside.
And you didn't ask the Overseer to come out and take it because?
Because, for God's sake, no one can... And he's like, oh. In order to explain this, he's going to have to give something away that he doesn't want to. Because, it's too dangerous for the Vault residents to come... Only the sages, only the Vault technicians should be on this level. This is the danger of radiation poisoning from the outside. It's the population is sensitive. He kind of tries to look and see if any of you are buying this.
Garn looks at Ace again and tilts his head, and he goes, "Ace not sick from radiation.
Radiation guard.
Yes, hard to say."
How do you profit from keeping a group of people fearful if you're not even doing trade?
We don't need trade. We have plenty of trade within the Vault. We have everything we need. We have enough to get by. It's just better for everyone. It's just safer. I don't stand to profit from anything. I'm just looking out for my people.
You let us in, so we can get the person that we're looking for and leave. We won't come back. We won't tell anyone what you have.
Because Sweets is looking a bit antsy, Wes floats closer to her, in a kind of concerned / protective manner, and makes an inquisitive chirp.
Can I roll agility to, just straight up run inside?
I love you. Yes, you can.
Can I roll agility to trip him if he tries to chase?
You absolutely can, and yeah. I will only need 1 success from each of you. I see a success. I see 2 successes. Excellent. Yeah, Sweets, you bolt past him. There is an elevator up ahead.
I'm in it.
Cool.
Info found.
Sorry?
I'm going in.
Yeah. Are you holding the elevator for anyone else, or are you just going down by yourself?
Just going down by myself.
Okay. Wes is following you. You make it to the elevator before him. Do you let Wes come in, or do you shut him outside?
I will hold it open for Wes.
Okay, Wes goes in with you. Given that... Yeah, incidentally, I'm going to say that these elevators are quite... They're quite big. I'm just going to say that they will fit a Garn. It might be a bit of a squish, but just remembering that we have a 10-foot tall party member here. Yeah, the rest of you see Sweets make a break for it. Bainbridge, startled, turns around and just instinctively tries to lunge for her, but Isabeau trips him.
Me.
Isabeau trips him and he eats dirt hard. You can kind of hear his jaw crack slightly as he hits his chin on the ground.
So sorry, I didn't realize you were trying to go somewhere.
Once he's on the ground, Ace is gonna walk over and just kind of prop him up, sit him down, and attempt to tie his hands.
Yeah, I'll say that you have some rope on you. That seems like a fairly standard adventurer thing to have. I'm going to say that while all this is happening, Sweets, there are buttons on the elevator for... You can go 1, 2, 3, or 4 floors down.
Let's start with 1 and make our way.
Excellent. We will come to you in just a sec. You will come to Sweets and Wes in just a second. Garn, Ace, Isabeau. Your courier escort has gone down in the elevator. And Bainbridge he's not happy. Obviously, he's kind of moaning in pain, but he's also going, no, she can't talk. Listen, there's already...
How about you tell us the whole truth? What did our friend just walk into?
It's fine. There are good people down there. Good people that I want to protect, okay? They just... Let me... You can keep me tied up. Just let me sit up.
Ace will help him sit up.
I don't want to hold Lopez here. I want to let him go. But... I'm sorry. This is Garn with a ribbon. Sorry.
Also the glasses.
I was just...
They're very low res.
Yeah, now I see it. So there's... I wanted to try and figure out a way to maybe modify his memory so he didn't remember this place, or... But, well, if I'm gonna have to figure out something for him, I'm gonna have to figure it out...
Oh, okay. You are not poking around in my cerebellum, darling.
I am gonna say that Ace had a hand on his shoulder, and when he mentions modifying memory, his hand just tenses on his shoulder a bit.
Okay.
Bless your heart, I'll shoot you dead.
I don't want to kill anyone else. I just want Greyhawk. I just want Vault 124 to be left alone. It was just so much simpler. What?
How many folks have you killed before, darling?
He realizes that he very much just let that slip. Shit.
This bad human.
One, I didn't want to. He was going to sell us out. He was going to tell those... What do you call them? Those war dogs or whatever? He was going to tell them where we were. In fact, he did. Bunch of them came by looking for him. They didn't try to come in when I told them to leave. They left when I told them to, thank God.
Garn tilts his head to the side and he says, dogs can't talk.
We're a gang, baby.
I will say that, with the possible exception of Garn, who may not have picked it up, you have all heard of the Dogs of War. They're not a gang, they're actually kind of a sort of a people's. I don't know if militia is the right term, but kind of in the same vein as the Minutemen. They specifically are set up to help people who need it.
They're a gang, baby.
I love you, Isabel.
You're not, baby. Darn almost grown.
Oh, you'll get bigger.
Listen.
I was wondering.
Oh, God. Yeah, they get bigger. Okay. Listen. I'll tell you everything, but first you need to let me contact the the guards, to intercept your friend. It's not good for the people here to be exposed to things they can't understand. Ah, that Eyebot. She had the Eyebot with her. They've never seen an Eyebot before.
Garn looks at Ace, confused again, and he says, Garn not understand lots of things, and Garn okay.
It's different.
What exactly are you doing to those people down there?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just maintaining the vault and making sure people can... I'm making sure that the appropriate people can use technology in a way to help others and further the standard of living down there.
You know, I can't think of any time throughout world history that a bunch of people calling themselves wizards and deciding who and who isn't worthy to further the standard of history has gone awry.
Part of the whole... he's getting impatient at this point because he's like, he knows what's up and you don't, and it's really getting to him that he cannot make you understand. So he just kind of goes, the whole point of the vault is for there to be wizards. This is all an experiment to make people believe in magic. And at this point, B, the elevator door opens onto... Gosh. This is, have you ever been in a vault before?
Are there any open vaults nearby?
I'm gonna say that there is one that you probably could have got a little bit inside.
Okay. So I maybe have seen a vault, which it doesn't help much because every
No.
vault is so different.
Yeah, this vault is definitely different from the one you've seen before. Wide open space here on the first floor down. And it smells kind of funky. It smells like dirt. It smells like manure. And yeah, looking around you see why, because except for like maybe a few concrete causeways that people are walking along, you see dirt as far as the floor goes. Dirt that's growing crops, dirt that's being tended by people. And one thing that you do know about vaults is that vault dwellers wear Pip-Boys. The guy upstairs, he was wearing a Pip-Boy. None of these people are wearing Pip-Boys. None of these people are wearing vault suits. These people are all dressed... They're almost dressed like wastelanders, except it's not even that sophisticated. It looks kind of old-fashioned to you. You can see if you...
And I hit the button for the next floor down.
Cool. You actually managed to get down before anyone notices you. I think that might actually be a good place to leave it. It's about 5:02, and we said we'd stop at the top of the hour. We okay to, I cannot get it wrapped up in 5 minutes. Are we okay to maybe schedule a part 2 sometime?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I want to end on... Hannah has completely called it. by saying, "Welcome to Grey Hollow Fantasy LARP."